Hey, oh, we're here. Oh, is she here? Where are you? Hello? Are you in there? Where is she? Oh, here you go. How's it going? Are you ready for the interview?
Doing it well. Oh, actually, I was wondering which dimension I'm in when I run into you.
This dimension today. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Welcome. Well, welcome to me because you already were here. So it's me saying welcome. Anyway, wanted to catch up with you finally. Maybe today's a good day, maybe it's not, but what we're gonna see.
Actually, I'm feeling inspired. I go by Miriam Rabbeinu.
Okay, that's a good name, Miriam Rabbeinu. I like that.
AKA DJ Cosmic Deva.
Cosmic
Deva, D-E-V-A.
Deva, D-E-V-A. Well, so before you came to this lovely place called Venice, where did you reside before?
I was a couple hours south of here, assisting an elderly veteran, and coast to coast, basically.
Coast to coast.
Coast to coast, and coast to coast, and coast to coast.
Got you. Sounds like you traveled a lot.
I like places where people surf and skate.
I got you.
I used to live in San Francisco,
Okay.
and I came here from 2 hours south of here. It was a little town between here and San Diego. It was pretty interesting. It was way more interesting 10 years ago. I think I'm trying to rekindle what we were all about then, because since then I've actually, that was when it was really cool to live on intentional communities and courageous. At least I, being in the corporate world during the dot-com boom, was idealistically admiring all my friends who were exploring all this sustainable living. And so I branched out and did it. But when I did it, they all got mad at me. But I think it's because we switched places, and then maybe I was having so much fun and they felt like they weren't having fun anymore. I did everything opposite. Like, I had the corporate world the corporate job by the age of 23, So by the time I hit freedom from materialism in Africa at the age of 28, and lived in a hut with a tribe and on the beach. And I was like, wow, these people all want to live here. And they had land redistribution from Mandela. And this, apparently I was told by a historian that I actually was living with Mandela's tribe, that was where Mandela was from. I didn't know, I just go with the flow. I always came here, when I came back from Africa, I was doing the gym show, and I used to come through here all the time. And there was another time too where people were showing me all the homelessness, and I was like, that would be, if I'm going to be homeless, that would be a good place. I can work and do everything that I do, which I was kind of born into that lifestyle in New Orleans, the French market, and going back into how much things have changed. Traveling the gym show. I mean, this has actually been a refuge for people off tour, between seasons, or between shows even, to maintain their way of life and their markets and that kind of thing.
So you were a performer before this? Is that what that was?
Everything I do, I was doing in festivals. I was basically DJing to carry me and cover my cost, and then I would do a 5-hour sort of offering every day in a big healing teepee to try to impact the environment positively and to keep with the tribal ambition, which is to live by example, to make things better than you found it, and I started cleaning up the beach, and it's been interesting. basically people would literally come around me and empty out the trash cans and like throw trash at me. I've never had as much swag or as much bling as until I became homeless in Venice Beach. So I think, well, helping others too. You know, I came here with the intention to do that. And, you know, people are like, wow, you like a lot of designer. And I'm like, well, they really do like throw away like some of the most amazing stuff in this town. You know, I came out with a couple of my friends, breakdancers, rappers from Pomona. And this was before I ended up homeless. And I wanted to check it out, and they wanted to do some graffiti and stuff. And they took me through all the different areas, and I was just like, I wanted to understand, like, you know, how did it get like that? And the trash, you know, and actually some grassroots movements, actually conservative Republican grassroots movements actually started cleaning things up as well, which was amazing to see before I'd gotten out here. But I remember just being like in shock. I think I made a video on my Miriam Rabbeinu Facebook or the Book of Alms where, you know, I was just in shock, like that the region had deteriorated so much in 10 years actually. You know, and I was trying to figure out what happened. And so when I came out here, not only was I making the best of a situation that was, you know, a necessity, but I was also planning myself somewhere where maybe I could create. I haven't painted since I was in Africa. Well, how I became homeless, I'll simplify it. Let's just say I'm a whistleblower. I'm a whistleblower against child exploitation. A whistleblower against, you know, covert fascism, and the NGOs that have perpetuated formulas of oppression continually since, I mean, for like 6,000 years. You know, and also where we were headed, like the global conflicts. And I was like, you can go fight those people and those people and those people, but if you don't get to the heart of the matter that's still running rampant, that's always managed to reshape itself and do the same thing again, while acknowledging our own histories. So that made me like you know, because I was basically like, you can't really fight Iran. I mean, you kind of gotta humble Europe, really, you know, which also kind of upset people. I think we should teach the world's global exploiters how to gather resources like the rest of us. Well, when I had come here from the Deep South, that was in 2001 to 2003. I came from the Deep South knowing that I had a small child. My son was like 3 years old, and I had this ambition to have a career, but I was on my own at a very young age, and I'd been pretty much a survivor and hadn't really had the opportunity to go to school and be educated to go after a career. So I took my ambition and came to the California gold rush of technology and ended up landing an entry-level job just based on my ambition with an international bank. So, but I was a project analyst, and so I was able to detect things that most people couldn't and sense things on a higher level.
So you ended up losing that job? Is that what happened?
Well, basically 250,000 people got laid off. That when 911 happened, and basically that slow deterioration between 911 plus like the shock of not feeling so secure, and and then slowly. I mean, it was a bank, so investments went down. war was imminent. That's when we went to war with Iraq.
I see.
And there was a whole fear factor. Ironically, back then, it was like, who did it, you know? Now I'm looking in retrospect after traveling these places and also outing covert fascism. And I'm like, wow. And this comes from the tragic events of moving to socialism and losing my family and my career and all these things in very unjust ways, where you realize just how real and how misled, you know,
So
we've been.
So how long have you been homeless or living out here?
I've been out here for about a year and a half now. Rosh Hashanah, September 29th, 2019, I believe, 2019 or 2020, but it's about a year and a half. So, and it's been good. It's been enlightening, actually, especially as someone living in devotion to the Creator, and also trying to make sure I'm doing the right thing while paying attention to the signs that, you know.
So, you have any message for anybody watching?
Yeah, you know, it's all about your values, and as much as this has been an interesting dynamic, it's also woke me up to, you know, my true heart, which is, you know, standing for our Constitution and reconciling these areas where we have been misled or confused, and realizing rights, even if they are abused, we have them. We do have a chance for justice that a lot of people in the world, they don't even have rights. You know, they've never had them. They don't even. We admire cultures that have never been free, which is, you know, I had taken for granted. A lot of people do. So I would say, roll in a wolf pack. But, you know, and the Sedona vortex, you can't really tell things are changing. Here you can tell things are changing. And enough for me to wonder which dimension I'm in today.
That's awesome. Awesome. Miriam's story is very unique and synonymous with a lot of people that don't actually want to work the societal 9 to 5 and are actual artists that want to branch out and work the festival circuits and, you know, just being creative on their own term and try to make a living that way. Unfortunately, it comes with a lot of drawbacks. And, you know, they always say fortune favors the bold. It can actually be backwards as far as not having that regular 9 to 5 and having constant income come in might be a drawback and pretty much render you homeless, as you can see in this case. However, I do admire her courage for standing up for what she believes is right and what's true to her heart, although it came at the price of basically losing everything. Hey folks, if you're interested in her story and you would like to know more, I'll leave her Facebook page right here. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe out there, and peace.